Okay, we've got a couple more messy at home peace activities. Our third, number three, is an oil and water experiment. So we're going to be doing some messy science at home. So what you're going to need for this is some cooking oil. So vegetable, olive oil, grapeseed oil, canola oil, any of those will work. You'll just need some water. Food coloring, if you have it, and then some dish soap and a plastic bottle. And as a plastic bottle can really be whatever you have on hand. If you have a 2 liter, great. We don't have any 2 liters at our house, so we're going to just be using, I think they're liter bottle from water. So to begin, you're going to mix the oil and water. So you put 2 tablespoons of oil into a bottle, and then you fill it up about half full of water. And then you just need to add a drop or two of food coloring if you have it. If you don't, no big deal. It's just not as pretty, but you can still see the oil and the water are 2 different colors. You'll put the lid on tightly and shake until you think that it's well mixed, and then let it settle. So what happens when you shake it up and then report back what happens? I would guess if it's like my experiment at home, it just separates into oil and water again. Now I want you to add a few drops of dish soap to it, and then go ahead and seal the top really well, and then shake it up again. And you might begin to see that the dish soap reacts with both oil and water to form an emulsion, and so it joins them together. This is why soap works when you're washing your hands, right? It draws the dirt and binds the soap and the water and the dirt all together, so you can get rid of the soap. So you can see from this that opposites can be brought together if something else is added that reacts with both of them. And so after you've done this experiment, talk about how people can quickly take sides and refuse to come together to solve their differences. But Christians are called, like Jesus, to be peacemakers who break down these differences and bring people together. So sometimes it might be really hard to be a peacemaker, especially when you feel invested with one of the sides that is part of the split. But Jesus calls us to try to put aside our differences and come together and find resolutions and compromise. And so over the next month, really try your best to find ways that you can be a better peacemaker. With all of us living in close quarters, if you have any siblings, and even just having spouses, now it's even more important than ever for us to try to be peacemakers and to try our best to treat others the way we want to be treated and show love and kindness. Okay, our final activity is called No One Should Bite Each Other. So that's a fun one, right? I'm going to have available a copy of this West African symbol. If you've got a printer, print it. If you don't, though, you can probably freehand it pretty easily. It's a pretty simple symbol. All you need is, so you need the symbol either printed out or just make a rough version of it on your own paper, and then you need some pens. And so if you draw the outline of the symbol Binakibai, it's a symbol for peace and harmony. And actually, in the West African language, it means no one should bite each other. So have that on your paper as large as you can. And then take turns, everyone working to fill it up with different patterns or different words. So you could find a poem about peace and write it inside the shape. So look up Maya Angelou, The Rock Cries Out to Us Today on Google. Or you could fill it with a pattern of doves, other symbols of peace from your own culture, peacemaking words like love and reconciliation and compromise. So fill up the Binikbai symbol with different ways that we think about peace and harmony. As you work together and decide what you want to put in it, talk about who you know that is good at bringing peace. So I'm sure you might have people in your life that are really good at helping to stop arguments, at helping people make friends again and be kind. And think about who that person or people might be, and think about how they are so good at that. So what character skill or what character traits do they possess? What words do they say? How do they say them? How are they so good at this? And we can learn from the people in our lives that are good peacemakers, how we can be a better peacemaker. And so think about that for our final activity. No one should bite each other.